Cutting toxic people out of your life is easier than you think. And today, I'm going to walk you through how to spot them, how to deal with the emotional struggle, and, most importantly, how to cut them off in a way that protects your peace. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling exhausted, insecure, or just off? Like you were emotionally lighter before you saw that person? You're not imagining things. And the good news, you don't have to keep those people around. Stay with me. I've got a foolproof method that'll change the way you manage your relationships forever. Let's start here. Who are toxic people? They're the ones who drain your energy, create unnecessary drama, manipulate emotions, and consistently make you feel less than. We've all had that one friend, family member, or co-worker who leaves us feeling drained, anxious, or even questioning our self-worth. These are toxic people, individuals who thrive on negativity, manipulation, or constant drama. They might disguise themselves as well-meaning critics or victims of circumstance, but their presence chips away at your mental health. And here's the truth. You don't owe anyone access to your life if they're poisoning it. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Seneca, another Stoic thinker, reminds us, "Peace of mind is the greatest good. Protect yours fiercely." Today, we're taking back control. Sometimes they're loud and obvious, critics, narcissists, manipulators. But sometimes they're charming, they're nice. They know how to appear supportive on the surface while subtly chipping away at your self-worth. But look out for these red flags. They make everything about themselves. They always have a problem but never a solution. They gaslight, make you question your reality. They get defensive when you express how you feel. They guilt-trip you when you try to set a boundary. As Epictetus said, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Remember that. Here's a quick exercise. Think about the 5 people you interact with most. Now ask yourself, do they leave you feeling energized, seen, safe? Or do you feel drained, small, unsure of yourself? If it's the latter, it's time to be real. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, and you're not being harsh. You're being healthy. Seneca once said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." Toxic relationships go both ways, and the damage can run deep. Epictetus warned, "We begin to lose our hesitation to do immoral things when we lose our hesitation to endure them." Toxic people fixate on outside events, gossip, blame, and problems they refuse to solve. Your job? Recognize the pattern. Now let's talk about common toxic behaviors. You need to grab a notebook or your phone to write down these traits. Toxic behaviors can look like 1. Backhanded compliments, "You look good," for once. 2. Emotional dumping, only calling you to vent. 3. Jealousy masked as advice, "Are you sure you can handle that?" 4. Control through guilt, "After all I've done for you." 5. One-upmanship, you share good news, they instantly change the subject. 6. They're perpetually negative. Every conversation feels like a storm cloud. Even good news gets met with cynicism. 7. They disrespect your boundaries. They cancel plans last minute, ignore your no, or guilt-trip you into compliance. 8. They thrive on drama. Their life is a rotating door of crises, and they drag you into the chaos. 9. They never take accountability. It's always someone else's fault, never theirs. I once had a friend who would call me only when she needed something, never asked how I was doing. I started to dread her texts. That dread? That's your intuition waving a red flag. Toxic behavior isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a slow drip of disrespect. But here's the kicker. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Seneca said it best. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Every time you stand your ground, you're building resilience. Now, let's be real. Cutting someone off is not easy. There's guilt, there's fear, there's that voice in your head saying, "But we've known each other forever," or "What if they change?" But ask yourself, how long have you been hoping they'd change? How many chances have you already given? Letting go is not cruel, it's self-respect. And yes, there might be loneliness, but there will also be peace. Peace is underrated, but it is everything. We're wired for connection, I get it. But here's the paradox. Clinging to toxic relationships often leaves you lonelier than walking away. The philosopher Seneca said it best. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And Epictetus adds, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Fear of confrontation or guilt can paralyze us. But ask yourself, is this relationship costing me my peace, my self-esteem, my joy? If the answer's yes, it's time to act. All right, here's the part you've been waiting for. How do you actually cut someone off without drama or guilt-tripping yourself into staying stuck? Cutting toxic people out isn't about revenge. It's about self-respect. This isn't just about walking away. It's about reclaiming your peace with intention. Step 1. Create emotional distance. Start with subtle shifts. Don't spill your secrets. Don't share your wins. Don't go to them for comfort. This isn't about being cold. It's about protecting your emotional space. You're not available for their drama, their manipulation, or their constant neediness anymore. Start creating space, and you'll be surprised how quickly their hold weakens. Step 2. Set clear boundaries, firm, clear, and kind. You don't need to start a fight. Just be direct. Try something like, I've realized I need to step back from relationships that leave me feeling drained. I'm focusing on healing and I need space. Or even more simply, I won't be available like I used to be. I'm prioritizing my mental health. You don't owe a TED Talk. A boundary isn't a debate, it's a decision. Step 3. Stop feeding the connection. You're not ghosting. You're gradually disconnecting from what's not serving you. Don't respond immediately to texts or calls. Stop making the effort to check in. Remove them from your go-to list. You're shifting the energy, and that shift will speak louder than words ever could. Step 4. Unfollow, mute, or block if needed. Digital boundaries are real boundaries. If seeing their posts triggers you, unfollow. If you find yourself tempted to engage, mute or block. This isn't petty, it's necessary. Your mental wellness is more important than staying polite online. Step 5. Expect and prepare for pushback. Here's the deal. When you stop playing their game, they'll notice. They might accuse you of being selfish. They might play the victim. They might love bomb you to lure you back in. Don't fall for it. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Hold your ground, breathe, and remind yourself, if I bend now, I betray myself again. Step 6. Don't over-explain. Here's something freeing. You don't owe anyone a 10-page essay on why you're stepping away. Keep it simple. Over-explaining only opens the door for arguments, manipulation, or guilt. Toxic people thrive on keeping you in a conversation long enough to wear you down. Don't give them that chance. Step 7. Get support. Talk to a friend who gets it. Write in a journal. Work with a therapist. You're going to need a safe space to process everything that comes up. Because cutting ties, even with toxic people, can bring up grief. Remember, you're not weak for needing support. You're smart for seeking it. Step 8. Replace the space. When you remove someone toxic from your life, you create a void. Don't leave that space empty. Fill it with people who uplift you. Fill it with time for yourself, new hobbies, long walks, peace and quiet, creativity, anything that nourishes your soul. Think of it like this. You're not just subtracting toxicity, you're making room for healing. Bonus step: forgive, but don't re-engage. Forgiveness doesn't mean you let them back in. It means you free yourself from the burden of resentment. Wish them well from a distance. You're not holding a grudge, you're holding a boundary. Let me say this again, just in case you need to hear it. You are allowed to walk away from people who consistently hurt you, even if they're family, even if you've known them for years, even if they say, "You've changed." Of course you've changed. That's the goal. When you let go of toxicity, you make room for healing, for healthy, uplifting, mutual connections. You sleep better, you breathe deeper, and you begin to trust yourself more because you showed up for you. As the Stoics teach us, we can't control others, only our response. And choosing who gets access to our life? That's the ultimate response. So here's what I want you to remember. You don't need permission to protect your peace. You don't owe toxic people your energy, your time, or your loyalty. You owe yourself your own loyalty first. Cutting someone off doesn't make you the villain. It makes you someone who values your mental health. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to cut someone off? How did you do it, and how did it change your life? Drop your story in the comments. Let's create a space where people feel safe to let go and grow. And hey, if you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more personal growth content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Next video suggestion: setting boundaries without feeling guilty, or healing after a toxic relationship. Let me know what you want to see next. You deserve peace. Don't forget that.